and I was detained a bit. If you could, please take a moment to lie down. Welcome Marianne at home, and you will be with your knees bent, your feet on the floor, and just have a sense of coming into pose of awareness, taking a moment to just become more aware of you in this moment in time. So sometimes I find it helpful to just really focus on some part of my physical body to help bring me into my body. Sometimes I'm especially mindful of how my feet touch the floor, or especially mindful through the shoulders and the back of the ribs. Let your head just slowly turn right. And then to center and left. And to center. And notice how the head feels. You might want to try turning it right and left again, but just notice how you're feeling as you make that subtle shift. And when you come to center, this time let your legs go out long. And start down at your feet, maybe back of the heels or ankles. And can you feel them heavy? Helping to sink you into your mat, connecting you to this moment. Take a deep breath and feel the backs of your legs and thighs. Same thing, heavy. So they sink you into the floor, into the mat, grounding you in this moment. Take a deep breath, and as you're exhaling, feel the heaviness against the back of the hips that brings you into this mat, this time, this space. Deep breath into the back of the ribs and shoulders. And they too become heavy along with the back of the skull and the length of the arms or hands. Take 3 slow, deep breaths and allow your awareness and breath to just move through your body. And then slowly let the feet find the floor, knees bending. Let the arms reach up to the sky. Cross the arms over the chest. And again, let the heaviness in the arms help to sink the back of the ribs into the floor. Begin to breathe a little slower or perhaps a little more deeply so that you feel the breath coming into the space behind the heart, into the back lungs and the back ribs. Let the hands and arms soften and release a bit, palms to the heart center. And again, just that awareness into the heart, breathing into that space. As you breathe into the heart center, take a moment to greet you, greeting yourself at that essence of yourself. Acknowledging that higher self, deeper self, but acknowledging you. Namaste. When you're ready, let the right leg go out long again and let the right arm lengthen and lift to the sky and then go back by your ears so that you just reach long from foot to fingers. Let the right hand come back down to meet your hips and take the left arm up. Just a nice long stretch. Right leg, left arm. And come back down. Let both arms reach up to the ceiling for a moment and then open them out in a T shape. Keep your arms out, keep your right leg long, just let your head turn to the left. And as you stay there for a few moments, take 3 slow, deep breaths. You might observe that you can feel a bit more of the breathing into the right side of the chest, right shoulder, right arm, maybe into the right hip or leg. And after you finish those 3 breaths, let the head come center. The arms come down by your side. Slide up the right foot, slide out the left. Left arm lifts and lengthen and stretch it long past your ears. And then bring that left arm down. Take the right arm up past your ear. Nice long lengthening stretch. Right arm comes up, both arms to the ceiling. Let them both open in that T shape. Let the head slowly turn right. And again, if you could, 3 deep breaths. Again, you might notice a little more of the breath moving through the left side of the body, or you might have the intention of awareness into the left side of the body. And then gently the head comes center, the arms come down, let the knees, both of them come up and into your chest, gently hug them into your body. Again, there's a little more of your weight, a little bit more of an imprint on the back ribs into the floor. Take an easy breath with that. And if I think about breathing deeply at the space around my heart, inhaling, sides of the chest, sides of the ribs expand. Exhale, narrowing in. And maybe breathing deeply to the back of the lungs, front of the lungs, but feeling that expansion. You might notice that your knees just kind of buoyantly move away from the ribs. And then as you exhale, you can pull in the navel and hug them to your ribs. So that inhale, there's a little softening. Exhale, draw on the navel, hug those knees in. Inhale, a bit of a soft release. Exhale, drawing in. One more time as you inhale. Exhale, drawing in. At the same time, lengthen the neck and curl up head, neck, shoulders, chest into a snug little ball. And slowly release down the trunk, release down the feet. Let the right ankle rest up on the left thigh bone and invite the right knee to open. We'll start really with the eye of the needle. So taking an easy breath, remember you can stay as you are or lift off the left foot. Please keep both feet flexed, but particularly the right foot. If you wish, right arm underneath the right leg, left hand on top. Allow the eyes to close if you find the mind wanders outside the window. Invite it to come back to you here and now. And the technique I'm using these days is to maybe really feel the imprint of some part of my body, or to feel that part of the body heavy. In this case, it could be the back of the hips, back ribs, back shoulders, or the skull. And as you exhale, let the left foot just slowly come back to the floor, and then release how you're holding the right leg. Just lightly hold this right knee into the body. I'll hold on to my kneecap and make a small circle, moving the whole leg. And then reverse the circles. And again, let that right knee come neutral. It will stretch right leg out long and away from us. Let the arms open. This time, not just a letter T, but just a bit higher. Maybe not yet moving to a letter Y, but just moving up a bit, and take 3 deep breaths. Again, if you can, imagine the breath being all-encompassing around that heart center. And then let the arms release. Let that right knee bend in, left knee comes up. If you could, left ankle, right thigh. You want this to be comfortable. You could remain here or lift off the right foot. Left arm under, right on top. Shoulders soft, eyes closing. Breathe and be in the moment. Taking a deep breath, slowly let the right foot lower so it comes to the floor. Left knees into you. You'll hold the kneecap. Small circles. Reversing the small circles. And then let that left leg go out nice and long. This time the hands are going to make a pillow. So fingers come together and let the hands just come under the back of the skull and just support the back of the head. Let your elbows open out onto the floor. Slowly the knee will bend, both feet on the ground. I'm going to keep my feet side by side, so feel the edges of the big toes touching. And it doesn't necessarily mean that the insides of my knees touch, but they're closer to each other. Feel long through your trunk. And when you're ready, draw on the navel and exhale, roll up the head, the neck, bless you, the shoulders and the upper ribs. And inhale, roll back down. Same slow pace. As you exhale, draw on the navel and roll up. Inhale, rolling back down. Exhale, rolling back up. Inhale down. Again, can you feel that vertebra by vertebra you're moving? But especially from the shoulders to maybe the back of the brow line, and then bringing that spaces back to the mat. One last one. And when you come back to the floor, just sense of lengthening the neck as you put the head back down to the ground. And let your arms open up to the sky first, and then open into that letter T. Take an easy breath with this. I'll separate my feet, this time hip or shoulder distance apart, and just start to walk, lifting up one foot and then the other. And I find a way to keep balance across my hips, so maybe moving slowly. And each time a knee comes up, I exhale and draw my navel inward and towards my heart. Watch how this feels for your back, because right at this moment, I find this to be very soothing for my back. And if I were to practice with the pose that speaks to me today, this would be the one I'd stay with. Another option is to bring up the right knee and stretch out the left leg. Bring out the right leg and then come in with the left knee. So instead of the knees being bent, the one leg is out straight. Again, I take my time, inhaling when my legs are out and exhaling when my knee comes in. But whatever choice I'm making, I want it to be the one that really speaks to me today. The next time the right knee comes up, could you hold on to that right knee and draw it towards you? And let that left leg, or whatever choice you've made, this time lengthen away from you. Let the right leg go out long and let the left knee come up and into you. And again, just an easy hold. Let both legs go out long and take a moment to just be. And notice how your body feels compared to when you first started. You let your head turn to the right and take 3 slow breaths. As you finish 3 breaths there, let the head turn. It goes to the left. And again, 3 breaths. And as you finish that, let the head center and bend the knees with feet to floor. Take it slowly. Easy roll to one side. Coming up to hands and knees into cat and cow. You want to be comfortable as the hands come to rest on the mat. Hands under shoulders and knees under thigh bones. Inhale, letting the tailbone and breastbone tilt up. And exhaling, pulling in the navel to tuck and round. Again, as you're going, find a point of focus for you. I like to focus often on drawing the navel in, but maybe you like to feel more of the stretch through the upper back or through the back ribs. It's your point of intention or focus. Next time you're exhaling, round the body, and then let the hips just fold towards the feet. Let the trunk fold down to meet the thigh bones, and maybe stack the hands to rest your forehead. Child's pose. As you let your hips stay towards your feet, lengthen the right arm up towards the top of your mat. Now I'm going to keep my left hand for my forehead, and instead just try to lengthen through the right arm. You might need to make a small fist instead for the forehead with your left hand. Make that work for you. Just think about being long from your right hip up to your right fingers, being relaxed in the shoulders as you're long through the outside of the body. And then gently bring in both arms, and the hands can stack to be in the child's pose. And then letting the left hand just lengthen forward. Again, really taking your time as you do that. Again, the right hand can be a small fist for the forehead. I want to be long from the left hip up to the left hand. I'm really lengthening up the outside edge of the body and trying to relax down the inside edge to my inner shoulder. And kind of let both arms lengthen out. Perhaps the forehead won't touch the floor. Let yourself be in a very comfortable position. Hero's pose. As you inhale, rise up, hands come under your shoulders, let your toes curl under, and drop the hips in the direction of the feet. So this is a foot stretch. Please go only as far as it suits you today. And come back up again. Again, as you exhale, try to get all 10 toes curled under and let your hips come back. Beautiful. And one last time, inhale up. Try to get all 10 toes and sitting back. Gently come up. I'll let my right foot come forward between my hands. I like to use the block. Left toes curl under behind us, and we'll lift off the left leg just in an easy lunge. Shoulders melt down away from the ears. We're nice and strong into that right foot. Playing with the foot, can you lift up the right big toe? And again, I'm just going to lift right big toe. And this time, we'll go with 18, 17. And as you put down that big toe, can you lift up 2 to 5? And let's just go 9 on 2 to 5. And when you let that go, slowly let that left knee lower. Draw back your hips, lift up those right toes, let the left hand come over the foot, and you really want to just stretch the right toes towards your face. I'll release, change sides. Left foot comes forward between those hands, right toes underneath behind us. We're into the lunge. And again, make it comfortable, nice long leg. Just the big toe, lift and lower it. 18, 17. And then hold the big toe down and just toes 2 to 5, 9 times. And breathe and hold. Slowly lower the back knee, draw back the hips, lift up the toes, let your hand come down. You just want to invite that nice strong stretch. And as you release, let both feet be back, toes curled under. Could you lift through the abdomen, downward facing dog? And again, what I'm really looking for is just a nice responsiveness in the feet. You might want to bend your right knee and then bend your left knee. And you're just really pressing up to the ball of the foot as you do that. And then let both heels lift up and draw the heels back as well as down. Again, work with the pose that speaks to you this evening. You could remain in downward dog and take the right leg behind you and let it lift and lower 9 times. You could lower to hands and knees if that's more comfortable. Again, if that speaks to you tonight. As that leg lifts, though, feel that it's the thigh muscle that draws up, thigh bone that draws up, and that the thigh muscles are active around that bone to support the movement, to support the lift. Last one. When you bring in your right leg, maybe lower the knees, come down and back into a child's pose. As you inhale, rise up again. Downward dog if you could. Again, you might just bend and straighten one knee and then the other, but really focus on, as I'm straightening the leg, my heel draws back and down. And then let both heels lift, pull back, pull down, and decide. It can be in downward dog or on your knees, but it's the left leg that lifts and lowers 9 and 8. And think about the thigh bone doing the lifting so those thigh muscles really wrap strongly around it. And gently come in, relax the knees, child's pose. Make this last option really work for you. Inhale, rising up. As you exhale, you can go to downward dog, or you can remain on hands and knees. Let the left leg go long and back behind you and hold. If I've chosen hands and knees, I'll lift out right arm and left leg. If I'm in downward dog, I'll bend my left knee, draw the sole of the foot skyward, open the knee left, and I'll let that leg extend back and out. As I'm there, I want to feel that my trunk can lengthen and I can have a gentle rotation towards the left. And release in, relax down, child's pose. As you inhale, come up again. You're moving into the pose that suits for you today. Downward dog or hands and knees. Hands and knees, it's right leg, left arm. Downward dog, it's right leg rising, bending the knee, driving the sole of the foot up. Right knee opens, right leg extends. Just breathing as you gaze slightly to your right. As you soften to come in, release into a child's pose. Take it slowly, come up to hands and knees, lie down to the tummy. Again, lengthen, lengthen, and lengthen. So lengthen through your legs. Feel that your trunk stays long and the hands can stack to be a pillow for your forehead. I'm going to keep my left leg down. It's my anchor. So maybe again, have that sense of a heavy left leg into the floor. Lengthen your right leg. Let it lift slightly from the ground and the right leg opens to the right and comes to center. Right leg opens to the right and slides back to center. It can be slightly sliding on the floor. I like to hold mine just suspended an inch or so from the ground, not a whole lot. You remember to keep that abdominal tone, navel holding in to give you support. Hips staying fairly neutral even as the leg moves. When you come back into center this time, float that right leg down, let it be nice and long. It's your anchor. Left leg long. When you're ready, it lifts maybe an inch. It opens left. It slides to center. Opening left and coming to center. Next time the leg comes in, hold it, release it, and let your legs and hips shake out. Now, I prefer my hands under my forehead, but you could slide your palms underneath your groins. Your palms face up into the groins area. You could bring your hands there to give you some support. Lengthen the legs, anchor the left one. Can you inhale, lengthen and lift the right? And then exhale, lower. Lengthen and lift the left. And lower. Please take your time. Move slowly. Move mindfully. The leg that's on the floor, it's heavy to the floor. It's your anchor. You can have a sense of really sinking it towards the mat. Let this be your last one. And when you finish, let your legs relax. Heels touch and release. Hands come underneath the shoulders, palms to the floor. When you're ready, gently draw up and into a sphinx onto your elbows and forearms. Again, feel those points that really are heavy or anchor you into the moment, into this mat. It would be through the feet, the legs, the thigh bones, and then the pubic bone. Think about the navel lifting into you and the breastbone rising. Let your head and neck be comfortable and just let your eyes look to wherever they are with this very comfortable neck. Taking a deep breath, can the eyes maybe advance 12 inches in front of you along the floor? Can your eyes advance another 12 inches along the floor? Take a deep breath and one more 12 inches. And then staying long, let the eyes look right and the head turn right. And come to center, the eyes are left and the head is left. Beautiful. And center. Take it slowly, but lengthen the upper body back to the floor. Stack the hands. I want to flex my right foot and bend my right knee towards my hip. And I'm going to hold it there. Trust me, I'm not falling asleep. I'm holding it until I feel a nice strong contraction in the buttock and hamstring. As you see here, can you keep the abdominal tone in the abdominal wall? Just really feeling that you hold the navel slightly inward to you and that your abdominal wall is active. It's not just relaxed to the mat, it's active. And let your right leg release, and when you're ready, bend the left knee, flex its foot and its heel to buttock. And again, we're holding intentionally. Right leg is long, right leg's into the floor. Abdominal tone through the mid trunk. And float it down. Let the left leg be your anchor. And let your arms reach out in front of you. And when you're ready, gently drop the right leg and the left arm and float down. Anchor the right leg, lengthen and lift left leg and right arm. Can you lift the trunk as well and float down? Lengthen and lift, alternating. Inhaling as you reach, exhaling as you release. And when you finish and you come down again, the hands can stack for the forehead. Gently let the hips and legs shake out. Let your heels touch and release. And one last time, bring those hands under the shoulders, popping up to the elbows and forearms. Legs are long from your toes all the way beyond there. Pubic bone drops to the mat, and the front of the body is long up and away from there. Again, just let your eyes be comfortable wherever the neck is at ease. But whatever you can see, let your eyes advance out in front of you about 12 inches. And can your eyes advance 12 more inches on the floor? And last 12 inches. And keeping the neck long, let the eyes and the head look right. And come center, and the eyes and the head go left. And come center. When you're ready, gently float back down. I want to be comfortable. I'm going to bend my right knee and take my heel to my hip, and my hand will hold it. If I'm more comfortable using a strap, I'll take my time and do that. But please know that we're going to linger here a few moments. So make this work for you. Please move slowly with this. Frog pose. The right foot just eases open to the right. Can be a small distance, a little bit bigger, depending on you, but just breathe easily. Feel the stretch to be comfortable. And then slowly let yourself come neutral and release that right leg. Legs can shake out a little bit. And just as, again, you move easily, left knee's going to bend, heel to buttock. If it's more comfortable for you to use a strap, please do so. If the mind starts to wander, bring it back to the body. Maybe some particular physical point on the body that you feel can truly sink into the mat. And that left foot just slightly open out to the left. Again, let it be one that's easy, gradual for you. Slowly let the foot come neutral. Release it and let it go. Let the legs and the hips just shake out a little bit. And take it slowly, but you'll make a transition. Rolling side, coming up to lie down on the back and have a strap with you so you be set to go. I'm going to be strapping my right foot as I lie down and just letting that right leg extend up to the sky. Shoulders are soft, they're away from the ears. And how I hold the strap, very relaxed and comfortable. No tension, stress, or strain. Can you imagine where your tailbone is? So make it intentional, but tuck the tailbone to the ceiling. Notice how heavy that is across the back of the pelvis for you. And then tilt the tailbone down towards the floor as if you were dropping a fishing pole, fishing line into the water. And I come to be heavier more on my tailbone area. And can you just come neutral with the tailbone so that it feels fairly effortless and easy across the back of the hips? Tailbone's in a very relaxed place. There's no tension. The head can gently shift right to left. I'll just let my head turn to the right for a moment and take a breath. And then change and let the head turn to the left and take a breath. And when you come to center, decide if you'd like the left knee to stay bent or the left leg to extend out long. Slowly let the right knee bend into you. And can you let the strap come around the back of this right thigh? Beautiful. I'm going to stretch out my left leg. I'm holding the strap snug with my hands, and I want to imagine that my leg is trying to push forward, but my hands in the strap are keeping it pulled into me. So there's dynamic tension, and I'll hold for 5, 4, and then relax. I'll let my strap go and just hold easily behind the right thigh. I'm going for the alignment or placement that the back of my hips are comfortable and at ease on the floor. And my right thigh bone's coming straight up from my hips. Let the hand transition up to the kneecap. That might give you a better sense of just creating that 90-degree angle. As you exhale, let the right leg stretch out long. You can let your leg shake out a little bit. You might notice the right leg feeling much longer than the left. And then the knees bend with feet to floor, and it's the left foot into the strap, left leg to the sky. Comfortable hands. And again, first, let that tailbone tuck upward to the ceiling. As if my tailbone were going to float up to the sky. And notice how heavy you get through maybe the waistline or upper pelvis. And then tilt the tailbone down towards the floor. And again, it feels like the pelvis is getting heavy this time at the bottom of it. And then let the tailbone come neutral. And once it comes neutral, can you just feel that the back of the pelvis is comfortable? There's no tension, pressure, or strain for it. Take a deep breath, easy with the holding in the hands, no tension there. You could choose to keep the right knee bent or the right leg going out long and straight. And then easy as you breathe out, you'll just bend that left knee and let the strap come in behind the left thigh. I stretch out my right leg this time. I'm holding the strap strong. I'm going to imagine my left leg pressing away from me, but the strap holds it into me for a dynamic hold of 5, 4. And as I release, I'll let go of the strap and hands come behind the left thigh. I'm thinking about creating a 90-degree angle, a right angle from my left hip, left knee to left ankle. Let the left hand just hold on now at the kneecap. And as you let it go, both legs out long, let your toes just point and flex. Slowly, the knees will bend with feet to ground. arms reaching to the sky. Again, back of the hips are on the floor, back of the ribs are on the floor, but not necessarily heavy, just they're imprinted there. I'll lengthen my neck, draw on the navel, and as I exhale, roll up head, neck, shoulders, and chest, and let the fingers lengthen and stretch in the direction of the knees. And keep the hips neutral and let the right foot come up and the right leg extend out long. And then float down to the earth. Arms to the sky. Body to the mat. Lengthening through the neck, navel holds in, rolling up head, neck, shoulders, chest, fingers reach past the knees. Left foot comes up, left leg goes out. And we float everything down. One last time, decide if you'd like to keep feet to floor or bend the knees to 90 degrees. Arms to sky, lengthen through the neck, rolling up, reaching past your knees. Could the legs stretch out as well? Navasana boat. And gently float in the knees, lower the trunk, lower the head, and just let your knees come into you. And we'll take it easily, gently. Let the knees separate apart, soles of the feet to the sky, and be gentle as you reach and hold for your feet into a happy baby. Maybe just letting the trunk shift a little bit right to left and being soft in the belly. Maybe taking 3 slow, deep breaths into your tummy. And as you finish that 3rd breath, release the hands and let your feet come down to the floor. And I just let my right hand come onto my tummy and I start to make a circle with my hand. And I'm circling from down at my pubic bone up and around in the direction of my heart. And as I circle, I really do think about that concept of a soft belly. The soft belly is free of anything that might have caused it to constrict or contract during the day. Free of any tensions or worries. Sometimes we even have a saying that something has my stomach in knots. So I'm just thinking about my belly softening and releasing the experiences of today and past days. I might let the other hand start to move the circles so I'm not fatiguing in my arms, hands or wrist. And again, just breathing easily and deeply into this soft belly. And then gently letting that go. And as your arms just drop at your side, again, let your head turn right and left. When you bring the head to center, let the legs stretch out long and allow yourself to be at ease and at rest. With your next breath, slowly let the knees bend so that one foot and then the other comes to rest on the mat. And let the palms come down to the heart center. Breathing into the heart. Again, can you feel the connection to your deeper self, higher self, the highest part of you? Take a moment to again greet yourself, celebrating you in gratitude. Namaste. I thank you very much for coming this evening, and I encourage you to take your time. And just, you might want to roll to one side and relax for a few moments. But I thank you for being here, and I wish you a lovely evening.